This is Dragon Dream, and when it first flew in 2013, it was the largest aircraft in the world. 90 metres long, 27 metres wide, 30 metres tall, and 27,000 cubic metres in volume. This was a tethered demonstration flight designed to convince the world that airships were, once again, cool. And this, in theory, could get that big stuff where you need it to go.
So we can go in there, offload 66 tons of cargo in one shot, or 250 tons of cargo, and may never touch the actual surface of the ground.
Airships, of course, don't need runways, and they can deliver their cargo directly to the location. All you need is an area of about 1.5 times its own length. And this isn't even as big as it gets. Even as Airos continues to manufacture smaller commercial aerostats at its Los Angeles HQ, it's planning a gargantuan craft, 169 metres long and able to carry 66 tons. If you want to carry lots of heavy containers underneath an airship, you have to make sure that the weight is distributed properly so the thing can balance. And another problem is if you wanted to get at a container at the far end, ordinarily you'd have to open the doors, take everything off to get that off, and then redistribute the weight before you can go on. Well, this cargo system solves those problems. It attaches underneath the airship. It's a bit like a claw because all of the containers attach to the ceiling of the thing. When the airship lands, there's still space for a lorry to come in underneath and just unload the one container it needs. As well as being more targeted, Airos is also pushing airships as cheaper alternatives to conventional aircraft. The relatively tiny propellers needed to move it along and steer it run not on aviation fuel, but on cheaper and easier to source diesel. These humongous feet are like hovercraft, blowing air out to assist hovering or sucking air in to hold the thing on the ground. It'll fly at 120 knots at 10,000 feet, low enough that the crew won't need oxygen. And the reason this idea may just take off this time around is due to a cunning solution to the age-old problem of delivering heavy goods by lighter-than-air craft. The problem is not in takeoff or carrying the goods, you just fill the thing with enough helium to give you the lift. The problem actually comes in the delivery of the cargo, because you set down, release all of that weight, and
in a traditional airship, every time you want to offload 10,000 pounds of cargo, you got to put 10,000 pounds of something back on the ship, or else it's just going to pop up like a cork. What we are able to do is, instead of taking on that extra weight, we're able to compress the helium and bring in air to replace that volume. And that means we get heavier before we even offload the cargo.
this system, called control of static heaviness, or COSH, also means that should they need to get lighter again, they can. The helium is simply released back from the canisters, forcing the heavier air out.